Hey everybody, Richard here with CRG Games, back with box number 3 out of this draft booster case, and we're going to get right into it. That last box, it was weak, not gonna lie, but that happens sometimes. We're gonna start off with these two guys here, nothing too fancy schmancy. I want to point out something actually though, that just because the cards have been dropping in price a lot doesn't mean a lot of them won't significantly go up in value over time. And I think that primarily is going to apply to the borderless and etched foils. So far in the draft booster boxes here, it seems that the borderless foils, and I'm talking about rares and mythics, are actually relatively rare. There's been like, what, 2? I don't think there's been a box with 3 yet so far. So if you got a case, you're talking maybe 12 to 15 borderless foil rares or mythics. That's really not a whole lot. And if supply is as low as, we kind of think it is, the prices of these cards should, over time hold a considerable amount of their value. Hardened scales there. The commons and uncommons I almost think are gonna have the same trajectory. Actually, Shadowborn Apostle, we've only been getting about 2 per box so far. That's something that could maintain a significant portion of value. I mean, I just saw somebody buying 50 copies on Facebook Marketplace, or I think $3 a piece. I mean, for a common, that's pretty good, but you only get like 2 per box. At least that's what I've been getting so far. Nice unearthed there. And the textured foils and foil etched cards, of course, you can only get those in collector booster boxes. Hey, Dr. T, right there, and Camball. So only being able to get them in those that product actually makes me a little bit salty that I sold them more early on rather than holding them for a little while. And I sold them during the initial high period, so I think I did pretty well on them. Actually, really well considering what the prices are doing now. It's just, there's the potential for missed opportunity there. A borderless Consecrated Sphinx, that's a mythic. Bortusk Liege, so that's our first one there. And since we're now seeming to, start moving in towards that long, parabola there where prices may stagnate, I wonder, did I maybe miss an opportunity to make more money down the road? The whole, selling magic, there is a science to it, right? There's definitely strategy, and I am by no means perfect at it. I've got, a lot to learn. A lot of trial and error has definitely taken place. Selling cards, there's been so many cards that I've sold early on that spiked, relatively quickly after, and I got my butt handed to me basically on potential lost revenue. And I think so far I've done a pretty decent job with this. Finally, borderless foil Mulldrifter. That's for Animar. Thank you. I think I've done a pretty decent job, but there's always room for improvement. It's just that there's really you're never able to tell exactly what the market is going to do, and trying to predict the market and hey, foil is difficult and risky at best. It often leads to people losing money. So the best thing to do is just keep an eye on prices every day, look at supply and demand. TCG sold listings. Are there a bunch of them, or are there only a few with a high sales price, but not a lot of volume? And vice versa. Is there a lot of volume, but not a high sales price? It may be any number of different functions But you need to use those. Finally, a freaking Eldrazi. Old Ulamog there. You need to keep an eye on those functions to be able to find out when the best time to sell is. And generally, you're going to want to sell when things are rising, not when they're dropping. Your Mana Leak. Privileged position. Not very good. Child of Alara. Used to be expensive, not anymore. So yeah, I guess it's difficult, right? Finding the right time to sell and make money on singles is difficult. And if anybody tells you it's easy, I think that they are maybe lucky or misguided or at worst trying to deceive you. Selling Magic the Gathering singles is oftentimes a losing proposition. However, holding sealed product and selling pretty much always nets you a positive return. It's much easier to make money on a case of draft booster boxes than it is to crack them and hope you make money. Right? One is based on hope. One is based on 30 years of previous sales data. So one has to be right. Very nice Phyrexian Altar there. And Conqueror's Flail. I mean, so far that first booster box was really good. The second one, not so much. The third one here does not appear that it's looking like it's going to be a gold mine, but there's still a few packs left here. So anything could happen. Ah, sweet. Mana Vault. I freaking love this. So I have Mana Vault I have it in one of my decks, I think. I have a 5th edition or 4th edition or something like that, I think it is. Woo! That's a spicy hit. But that's not guaranteed, right? I got lucky there. And basing your income on luck, it's like playing the lottery, right? If you had to pay your bills and what you did to pay your bills was go down to the local gas station and buy a lottery ticket every week, you would quickly find yourself homeless. But on the other hand, if you won, you could find yourself in a mansion for the rest of your life. So, moral of the story is, don't base your income on hope. If you're doing this, you probably should be doing it for fun, for entertainment, for maybe financial aspects, whatever. It's just, ooh, very nice. Don't base your paycheck on hoping that you hit an Imperial Seal, because it probably ain't gonna happen. Okay, 2 Eldrazi's in one box. You know what sucks, though? Emrakul is freaking still banned in EDH. And I've been waiting for this card to be unbanned for the longest time. And my buddy always tells me, not gonna happen. But you can kill this thing with a Royal Assassin. So, there's so many ways to get rid of Emrakul. I freaking want to play it. I have a pre-release foil of this, and I can't play it because it's banned. Unless I asked ahead of time. That's the one thing. You gotta rule 0 it. Tell your group, hey, I've got Emrakul in here. Do you guys want to play? And they're either going to say, no, take it out, or go away, or yeah, we don't care. So it's going to be one of those. All in all, actually, this probably wasn't the worst box. We've got Damnation. I think that's $10-15. Emrakul, I think, is around 20-something. Supreme Verdict is close to 10. Mana Vault, I think this version of it is probably around the $50 to $60 mark. Phyrexian Altar, I think, is around 40 to 50. What else did we get? Ulamog is probably around that $50 mark. Oracle of Mul Daya, I think she's still around 12 to 15. Surgical Extractions, probably about 10. Vedalken Ori is probably $10-15. This Consecrated Sphinx actually is... well, the original one that I sold, I remember I pulled the foil and the non-foil version of this. The foil version sold for like 60 or $70, I think it was, and the non-foil was only like somewhere around $50 bucks, so you never know. Teferi's Protection has dropped significantly, so it's not all that much. Hardened Scales, I think, is like $3 to $5. Doran might be worth a couple bucks. Master Cruelties is not. This is not worth a whole lot. The Dragon's Maze foil version of this, though, is worth a significant amount. It's around 40 or 50 bucks. But that's because it's an original printing, so those usually do have a higher value. You know what? Not the worst box here. I'll take a Mana Vault any day of the week. I'll take an Emrakul. I'll take a Phyrexian Altar. It's not that bad. This box isn't that bad. But again, it's not guaranteed, right? This was literally hope. And I guess it worked out a little bit at least. So, 3 more of these things. I don't know what we're going to get. I'm a little wishy-washy on the value, right? We know that at the original pre-release prices, like in the $250 range, the collector boxes, that right there, that's knocking out of the park great value. For the amount of money that you can return on those, that's a product that actually makes sense to crack for value and to sell singles. The draft booster boxes, typically draft booster boxes are not what you crack for value anymore. Used to be the only product you really had. But nowadays, draft boosters are for draft, right? Collector and set are what you want to pull for value. And if you're not buying at wholesale prices, it really doesn't even make sense then. These boxes are going for what, $330, $340 on the open market? If I was buying at that price, I would say absolutely not. Don't open them because you're going to get your ass handed to you. If you're buying, I got these for $275, and even for me, that's a good deal any day of the week. $50 off. That's what, 20% off. But even then, it's still risky on how much money you're actually going to return. You may get lucky and get borderless Mana Vault, and you may get absolutely hosed. That's the thing. At a certain point, though, you can afford to get hosed if your cost basis is low enough. And I'll do a video here soon going through the whole process that I use to find good values on products, both new and old. And, hopefully that'll help you guys out. And it doesn't take that long. If you ever played RuneScape, I'm a longtime RuneScape player. I haven't played in a little while, but I'm maxed and, all that stuff. There's a term called, there's dailies, right? And I'm sure there's other games too. You do your daily activities. Well, there's a daily search that I do through several different websites and several different searches to sniff out where the deals are. Then I can decide whether I want to buy or not. I'll show you guys how to do that, what the quickest way that I've found to do that is. And then, hopefully that helped you guys out. If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. That does help me out a ton. And if you're interested in buying any of the singles or any singles I have in my store, crggames.tcgplayerpro.com. Everything is priced 3 to 5% below the average of TCG Player Low and market price. So it's kind of right there. It can be a little wonky sometimes depending on what the values actually are, but I price it below that. I'm not necessarily looking to be the lowest person on the market. It's not the way I like to do business. I would rather just provide a fair deal. And also, it saves me a ton of money because I'm not paying commission fees to TCG Player. The trade-off is you have to drive your own traffic. So that's the way you can help support the channel. I may look at other opportunities in the future if you'd like to do that, but I like to keep it simple. So 3 more boxes. Until next time, catch you guys later.